Hi there! I have all these wonderful copies of the Foxtrot album by Genesis and even some more. And I put myself to a simple task of finding out which one sounds the best. I listened to them quite a lot. I got myself prepared. And here are my results. Et voila! And the best ones are, surprisingly, the first UK press and the earliest UK presses, which they were cut by George Pecko. So they scored the top score. Then later UK reissues are pretty much good as well. Issues from the United States are not that bad, but I would not keep them for my collection. And this one, I don't know, I would recommend to avoid this one or treat it with the maximum care. All right, yep, these are the results. I hope this would help. And you know, my English is not perfect, far from being perfect. And now it will be pretty dull story about all the sleeves and labels and so on. I would understand if you skip the later part, but if you do, please enjoy. So what do we have here? That's the first UK edition with matrices 1A-1U Porky and B-1U Pecko. That's a bit later, but still A-2U and B-2U cut by George Pecko from UK. They are actually pretty similar. Then we had a later UK reissue from 77 probably, but that's from 70s. And yeah, this there has matrices A/2 and B/2, tone and master room. That's a signature of another really great cutting engineer. Tony, I don't know the second name, but yeah, these are still great. We have another UK 70s reissue with matrices A3B2, another UK even more later edition, and couple of editions from the United States. And it is really interesting. I bought them completely independently and they share the same matrices. That's just cool. And they have different labels. This one is on the scroll label, the famous label from Charisma, and this is just a usual small hatter label. More about this later. All right, the color. Let's start with the first UK edition. Yeah, and it's kind of signature feature that it you know, it has this textured sleeve. You see, it's not a plain one. It's made from a lot of dots. You know, another key feature of this first press cover is this red writing on the spine. And it's also, the spine is not plain, not white, it's also kind of has writing, not writing, but a picture on it. And inside there are texts. It's all pretty standard. Yeah, let us leave it here for a second. This one is pretty much the same. And let's grab a later UK reissue, because it has slightly different cover. This one not a textured one anymore, it's just a plain one. Also has a white spine with black letters, you see. This pretty much the same here, text and pictures, but there are some differences. Let's take a look. For example, here, you see, this the credits for company that made the sleeves are slightly different, and here also writings are different about the marketed information and some other stuff. So that's the only difference. And on here on the inside. All right, and these UK reissues has exactly the same cover as this one edition. Oops, I lost one. Let's put it here. And it gets even more interesting when we come to the United States editions, because it's not a gatefold. You see, that's it. It's just yeah, kind of this. I don't know if they had any inlays with the texts or not. It's also these black letters here, and yeah, it also some painted thing. And the second one is exactly the same. So that's somehow the UK editions are more preferable to me. Has more rich jacket. Another nice note that these textured original first press sleeves, they are a little bit darker than the rest. I don't know it's good or bad, but probably it is how they were intended. So that's what we have here. All right, let's go on with the vinyl, with the records. Just give me a second. All right, here come the labels and the records. So let me zoom out a little bit. See, I use this spare chair to fit everything in. This is our records. All right, that's the first press, and I don't know if it will be clear on camera. It is more, you know, it has a little bit more red in it, more to the purple, and these are more to yellow. I don't know, not big experts on colors, but you see it's clearly different color. And this one, on the first press, we have the large Mad Hatter Charisma label. Large because this Mad Hatter is twice, I would say twice as big as here on this small Mad Hatter Charisma label. You see? And all the UK issues, except the first press, has this small Mad Hatter label. Let's take a closer look. So that's the large Mad Hatter label, and please pay attention to this catalog number on the bottom, the small one. Again, that's the first UK press, and it is also an early reissue from the UK. You see these early matrices, but it has the small Mad Hatter label, and this catalog number is slightly different. It has these crosses instead of brackets here. So yeah, this is how you may also distinguish between the first press and the later represses. These two from the 70s, they actually share the same, I hope the same, yeah, it looks pretty much the same to me. Center label, it's pretty much the same. The reissue from 80s, from 80, I don't know, yeah, 80. It has a slightly different, or not slightly, but completely different center label design. It's a blue Charisma label. All right, but all the writing seems to be the same to me as on a more earlier 70s UK reissue. And now to the United States edition. This is the famous Charisma label. Charisma label used to issue their vinyl on this kind of label in the United Kingdom. I think from Genesis it was the nursery crime one, the one that was issued on this scroll. It is called the scroll, this kind of label. But yeah, as you can see, Discogs says that this issue is from 75, and it has the same scroll, famous Charisma label. Pretty nice. And yeah, that's the small Mad Hatter standard label. Writings are a tiny bit different, the information compared to the UK edition. So yeah, here it goes. And as I said, these two US editions my copies shares the same matrix numbers, and also all the writings, all the information on the center label is the same, except for the label design. Curious to me how it came to this, but that's that. All right, and the most important part, the sound. How do they sound? A couple of important remarks. First, this Foxtrot album by Genesis, it is a pretty long one. It is some 51 minutes long, and it was issued in 72. For example, for a reference, the Dark Side of the Moon album is only 42 minutes long. And it is important because 51 minutes is quite a lot for a single vinyl record, even now. And yeah, I would say that probably in 72 the technology was not as good as now. So yeah, that's just a fact. And because of this, it seems to me that the groove is really thin on these records, and it can be damaged quite simple, I would say. All right, so let us take a look here. That's the first issue. You see how close to the label the music goes compared to the US editions and even to these two matrix with the number A-2U. And yeah, that's quite a big deal, because with this album I really notice on that it is a lot of distortion and music goes closer to the label. The heights gets more hissy, I would say, so it's somehow distortion. I would call it distortion, closer to the center label. That's an important point to pay attention to with this record. Another one, because as I said, the groove is really thin, it can be damaged pretty easy. Sorry. And yeah, these are not the only copies I had, because at least I have this one, but I had way more, and on some of them there are really serious problems with distortion on highs. The groove gets damaged and it results in distortion on high frequencies. For example, in the timetable in the verse, it is a lot of noise on some copies that I had in the past. Yeah, it is another important thing to pay attention to. Yeah, actually, that's probably it. Yeah, like yeah, pay attention to the part of the music on the that is closer to the center label, like last tracks, especially on the B side of this record. Is really great track on there, and it's loud, and you know, it's kind of the result of the whole album. And on some editions it yeah, it sounds not that great, too much distortion, I would say. So again, pay attention to the how the music sounds closer to the central label and to general groove damage. And this timetable song is a really good indicator to whether or not the copy was worn. Anyway, yeah, let's jump to the conclusion. As I said, my personal favorite is these first editions that they're cut by George Pecko. For example, this one with matrices A-1B1 Porky Pecko, and this one, as we just saw, it has the different center label, but yeah, it shares pretty much, I mean, it was cut by the same engineer and it still sounds great. It's just a perfect one. So really great album, and I listened to a lot of them, and it's really hard to make all this album sounds really great. So on these editions it is done perfectly. Now to the later UK editions, these two, it is pretty great, but again, on both of them, I don't know if it is due to the groove wear or just because they're cut in this way. I noticed really serious distortion on the last tracks, especially on the last song on the B side. Yeah, it's really somehow noisy and fuzzy, and I don't know. I didn't like that last song on these editions. It could have been due to the groove wear, but this copy is really clean one. So I am afraid, but I am not saying that they all would sound the same, but yeah, it is how it was to me. So they sound pretty good in general, but yeah, closer to the label, I faced too much distortion. If I didn't had experience with the other copies like this, they would be completely fine with me. They are still enjoyable, and I would keep them for my collection as well. But yeah, probably not anymore, since I listened to the other ones. This one, UK 80s reissue, I don't like it at all. It sounds muffy, it has not heights, it's not clear at all. So my kind of advice, be super careful with these ones and try to avoid, if I may say so. But again, please just be careful with them. My experience is not great, and I didn't like this one at all. It's muffy, it has no, you know, it's kind of, you're missing the biggest part of the music. Yeah, it was somehow painful to listen to it. And the editions from the United States, as I said, here, this one, it was lacking the high frequencies, and it got too much bass. Not too much bass, but it was okay bass, but it was muffled. But high frequency was lacking completely. Here it is more balanced, but you still have some. I do not like heights on these editions. They are good, but too much distortion to my opinion, to my liking, if you may say so. They are listenable, but even, you know, then I listen to a record like this, I'm not completely happy. You know, if of the UK reissues. If I faced them, if I came by them and listen, oh, I may stick to one of these for sure, but not to one of these, unfortunately. They are not that bad, but something's missing here, and you can understand it. Yeah, the problem with heights, with the distortion of heights, it's presented here like a lot. All right, yeah, probably that's it. Again, my personal favorite is these first editions, cut by George Peckham. They're just awesome. If you see one in a good quality, grab one without any hesitation. And yeah, it is important to have this album in a good quality, not worn because of all this not so strong groove and yeah, the delicacy of the music itself. And these two UK editions, they are quite okay. The rest, I would avoid them. But yeah, that's me, that's my experience on my kit with my ear. All right, yeah, that's it what I had today. I hope it was helpful. Thank you very much for your attention. Enjoy great music and enjoy the great sound. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.